all to our weekly segment of Fishing Teens. Today's theme is why. I hope you enjoy it. And now questions and answers by Valeria Salcido and Andrea Lopez.
Okay, first question. Why are there so many branches of Christianity?
The answer to that question is, although there is one Bible, there is a lot of branches of Christianity because people tend to interpret the Bible in different ways. Now, we need to have a personal life with God and know how He wants us to interpret the Bible for Him.
Question 2. Why does God allow there to be so many different beliefs?
Honestly, to this question, God doesn't make us believe anything. We are not robots. We have the freedom to believe whatever we want. But as I said in the first answer, we need to get personal with God because God wants us to, He prefers us to believe what He wants for us, not our own ideas.
Okay, question 3. Do I have to go to a specific church to be saved?
Remember that God, according to the Bible, He left instructions, so the only one that saves here is Jesus, not the church. But He did leave instructions for us to worship together, so we can have like fellowship with other people that also follow God. Now, the church isn't going to save you, but if you're following Jesus' instructions, if you have a good relationship with Him, you're going to end up going to heaven with Him. The thing is that a lot of people think that, I go to church and I'm gonna be saved. That's not true. It's only if you believe in Him and if you have a good relationship and you follow every commandment that He has put for us.
Okay, next question. I don't like church because there are hypocrite people in it. Should that stop me from going?
Remember that you are not going to church for people, and all you want to have is a relationship with God, not with people. Remember how God said the sick need a doctor? So us, as being human, we always need a doctor. So you're gonna find all sorts of people at church. You're gonna find, including a person just like you. But we have to remember to focus on God Himself. The focus is only on Him. There's no other focus. And keep a straight relationship with Him. And then nothing should destroy that.
And right now we are going to listen to the quote of the day by Lemuel Dyke.
Today's quote of the day is, I like your Christ. I don't like your Christians. Your Christians are so unlike your Christ. This was written by Mohandas Gandhi.
What I think about this quote is that Christ loved others, He helped others, but we don't.
I think this quote is right because it's not about, usually I think what he was talking about is that he likes the idea that we have that, we're supposed to be like Christ and we're supposed to help others and we're not supposed to, judge others. And we say that, but as we say that, we're judging others because they're not like that. And, then we're doing wrong. That's all I think.
I think Mohandas Gandhi was pretty right because most of us just pretend to be Christians, but we're not really Christians. So we take the first part of Christians and we totally chop it off of the word. So we tend to be sort of fake when it becomes to being Christians because sometimes we say like bad words and stuff and then we go to church and we're like, oh yeah, we're really holy. So that's what I think.
I think that Mohandas Gandhi was very right in his quote. I mean, people like the concept of God, of Christ. They like that. But once people start to meet Christians, they don't see His reflection. They don't see His reflection in us as Christians. It's true. Like we are unlike God because we don't reflect His love. We don't reflect what He was. We should be a mirror image of Him. Meanwhile, we're not. So I think it's very true that He likes our Christ but doesn't like our Christians.
I think that quote means that, sometimes as Christians we forget what it really means to be a Christian, like to do what we have to do, the things that Christ wanted us to do.
And now, the reflection by Pastor Mario.
So today's theme is one word: why. One of our members from fishing teams asked the other day how she went to do a question that people always ask you: why do you belong to that religion? And we always talk about our religion. We always talk about our maybe not principles, but the rules, we can call it that, of our religion. But do you really ever talk about God Himself? Like when people ask you about your religion, do you say, well, I believe because I talk to God, He talks to me, I tell Him this, I tell Him that? Do you believe that? Now, I want to go and read a text, Revelation chapter 12, verse 17. And let's not forget that there's a devil out there. Let's remember that. The devil will always try to make us think that there is no devil. That's what he's going to try and make us think. But let's remember, there's a devil out there. There is Satan out there. And chapter 17 says, "And the dragon was wroth with the woman, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which kept the commandments of God, and have the testimony of Jesus Christ." These are two very important aspects that we as Christians forget. Now, we talked about the quote of the day, and remember, Gandhi said he likes our Christ, but he doesn't like the Christians because we are not like Christ. That's just paraphrasing his quote. What's wrong with that? See, this verse tells us that Satan is out there to make war and to make the name of Christ look bad. Who's he making war against? Well, we know he can't be God. He definitely can't be God. Nobody can beat God. As a matter of fact, if you read in the same chapter of Revelation, it says that God cast him out of heaven. So God said, you don't belong, you can't belong here, you can't be near holiness. So He cast him out because he had all this envy and jealousy towards God, so He cast him out. So he goes to have war against the weaker. He knows he can hurt God by hurting the ones he loves. And that's human beings. But look who he goes against. He goes against those which keep the commandments of God and have the testimony of Jesus Christ. You know what I'm seeing here? That he tries to mess that up. Some of us can have the commandments of God. You might do good deeds. You might sometimes do good things, but you don't have the testimony of Jesus Christ. You might not steal. You might not lie. You might not have any of this actually. You might call yourself a Christian, but you don't keep His commandments. You lie, you steal, you say bad words, and you're nothing like Christ. You hate on each other, you cuss people out, you're always judging. You're nothing like that. And that's exactly what Satan is trying to do. Now, when people come and ask about religion, the first thing we ask and the first things we say are, oh, I can't do this, we're not allowed to do that, we're not allowed to do this, we're not allowed to do that. But we never say, well, my religion is about Jesus Christ. And here at Fishing Teams, we try to promote a relationship with God. Now, let me tell you a little bit about the Seventh-day Adventist. Seventh-day Adventism started out as a movement and still a movement. Now, a lot of people have tried to say that it's a religion, but if we look at the context of Seventh-day Adventist, it's not a religion. We're still a movement. Unfortunately, a lot of people have messed that up and called it a religion for all the rules and traditions that are involved in it. But we're not actually, George Knight, in one of his books, which is one of the biggest PhDs, one of the theologists of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, he says, we are not a religion, we are a movement. Why is it a movement? Seventh-day Adventists are Methodists, they're Baptists, they were from all different types. All the pioneers, the people that started this movement, were from different religions, and they all came together under one accord, like the church back in Acts chapter 2, and they were just promoting and reminding people of the values and of the biggest event that is ever going to happen, which is the second return of Jesus Christ. And these people, Methodists, Baptists, even Catholics that joined together in this movement, were happy because they were going to see their Savior, Jesus Christ. But you see, it was a movement of people who had a relationship with Jesus. The world saw in them a relationship with Jesus, and they were so eager to see the second return of Jesus. And that's how this movement just said, boom, it exploded. Because they literally told other people, Jesus is coming. They were not promoting a religion. People asked them, they were Methodist, what's your religion? Some of them were Methodist. some of them were Baptist, and some of them were from Pentecostal. They were from different backgrounds, different religious backgrounds, but they all came together under one accord into having a relationship with Jesus so close that they really believed that he was returning. And that's what kept them going, and that's what kept them preaching. Now my question is, when people come and ask us nowadays, all this it's been messed up, because people ask you, hey, what religion are you? We say Seventh Adventist, or we say Methodist, we say Baptist, and we start saying all the rules and all the things we can't do, instead of promoting, or instead of saying that we have a relationship with the person, with a being that we're soon going to see. Now it's very rare to hear someone say, well, I'm actually, I really don't belong to a certain religion, but I do read the Bible, and I do know Jesus, and I do know he's returning again, and I really hope I really hope that I'm going to see him soon. And my family, who also believe in Jesus, my grandparents are dead, but I believe that they're going to come, because Jesus told me that they're going to resurrect, and when he returns, which I know is pretty soon, we're all going to come together as a big family again. It's very hard to get those type of answers. Usually you get other things. And I just want to read off one more time Revelation chapter 19. And I want to read verse 10. And it says, "And I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said to me, See thou do it not. Don't worship me. I am thy fellow servant, and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Jesus. Worship the testimony of Jesus. For the testimony, worship God, for the testimony of Jesus is the spirit of prophecy." You see how the testimony of Jesus is very important in the last day, and that's what Satan is really going to attack. The question is, do you belong to religion, or do you belong to Jesus? The whole theme of today is why. Why of everything? Why of your religion? Why of this? Why prophecies? Why can't I lie? Why can't I do this? Why this and that? Why the no's and why the yes of what I do, of my beliefs? A lot of us know those, but we leave the Christ out of Christianity. And when you leave the Christ out of Christianity, all you get is a set of rules and a lifestyle that you just get accustomed to. And let me tell you, the Bible talks a lot about how he doesn't, when Jesus returns, he's going to tell a lot of people, I don't know you, because you didn't end up knowing him. Do you really think Jesus doesn't know you? Jesus knows everybody, but he says that because it's really us who didn't know him. We belong to a religion, but we didn't belong to Jesus. So why is the theme? I think the question to the why is Jesus. Do you have a relationship with him, or do you just know about him? Think about that.
All right, and that and that was our segment for today. Subscribe, add us on Facebook, like a lot, and see you next time.